Hello guys, welcome back to my Let's Play of Jagged Alliance 2 version 1.13. This is part 5 and this is the part where we attack Drassen. As I've explained in the previous video, I am going to the mid-sector first, even though it doesn't provide us with either airport or mine, but we get a field hospital here. You cannot see it at the moment because we don't control it yet. But there's a field hospital here that increases doctoring speed and decreases the amount of medical supplies we need for doctoring, so that could be helpful if we get hurt. And if we manage to get the mid-sector without any serious injuries, we'll then try to capture the mine right afterwards.
Okay.
But let's see how the mid-sector goes first. We are going to arrive during the day, during light hours, which I prefer because it's easier to manage combat distances. Combat at night over short distances can be very deadly if you get unlucky or if the enemies have better equipment than you, better night vision goggles and brake lights, for example.
Get ready. They're here.
Okay. In city sectors, you normally, unless you have a team member who has the minor trait scouting, you do not know how many enemies you'll face. So that's why we only see this question mark. In non-city sectors, you'll see how many enemies you're fighting, even if you don't have a scout on your team. Okay, as you can see here, for regular combat we have only fought the battle in Omerta so far, where you get dropped off anyways and can't decide where to start out. But for regular fights you choose where you want your mercenaries to start. Often I see people just group the mercenaries up and set them in the middle of the zone they can put them down. I would not recommend doing that. Try to spread them out a bit. Also, I would not recommend going in at the middle, but rather at the corner. If you go in at the corner, you can be sure that at least two of your flanks are safe, are secure. There cannot be any enemies coming from there, unless you have the reinforcements feature activated. Then you have to be very, very careful and best check from where reinforcements could arrive. In this case, they could come from the south, so this flank would be in danger of being overrun by reinforcements. Alright, let's set our people down. Roofs are always useful, so I like having someone here ready to climb the roof. This can be a bit fidgety, getting your people in the proper spots, but it's usually worth it. Then I like having one mercenary down here by this building, which is a bar, by the way, to be able to keep an eye on this side of the building, while the other mercenaries are up top here. I think Grizzly is a decent guy for that job, with his current loadout, with his Beretta 93R, and I'll send Ira with him. I don't like having mercenaries on their own too far off from the others, for several reasons. For example, if he gets shot, he needs someone to patch him up if he goes unconscious, and Ira brings a medkit. As I've said before, I prefer not having to use medkits for first aid, but now that we only have one first aid kit on Murgus, in a pinch we'd have to use the medkit. Alright, Grizzly and Ira are set. Ira stays a bit back because she does not have armor and not even a pistol, but she's still valuable because she can keep an eye on this side of the building, while Grizzly keeps an eye on this area, while he's safe from anyone sneaking up because Ira keeps an eye out. Right, Murgus is ready to climb on the roof. Then Steven and Meltdown plus Fox can also be here. I don't like Fox's position because she doesn't have any armor. Alright, let's try our luck.
Okay, let's paint the town red with the enemy's blood. Yeah?
Okay, Meltdown has a nice view of this whole area and has already spotted an enemy. Unfortunately, he has also spotted us. You can tell by his pistol, because he's raised his pistol already. He knows we are here. Be careful when you enter like I did. You cannot get around this corner on the ground at least. So if you set one mercenary a little too far to the north and he enters the sector here, he's a bit cut off from the others. So pay mind to that. Okay, now let's see what we can do here.
Standing by.
First of all, any mercenary this guy sees running up to him, for example, could trigger an interrupt, and on that interrupt he might decide to shoot Meltdown. I prefer that not to happen, obviously, so I think I'll have her lie down first. Okay, that's one of those close situations where you need to pay attention to the facing. Okay, she can stay here for the moment.
You called?
Until the others are in position.
Yeah?
She has a decent line of sight here also, but Grizzly is the one who makes sure that there's no one here. Well, unless there's someone crouched down here, but it's very unlikely. We just entered the sector. They are usually not crouched when they are not aware of you yet, or have just been made aware of you. Alright, this area is clear, and the area further up too, because Meltdown sees all of that, so Grizzly can just walk a bit. He could run too, but you never know if there's someone lurking around this corner who might interrupt him, so I prefer not to run unless it's necessary, absolutely necessary if there's a rush, because the mercenary needs to support his friends or patch someone up who's dying. Can slowly get in position. In the turn-based mode, I'd recommend not spending all action points on moving, because they might be needed for an interrupt. Ira will be a bit more careful with her, because she's squishy. Just keep her back a bit. She doesn't need to reserve as many action points because she doesn't have a weapon, but it might still be useful to react to enemies, crawl away a bit or something like that.
You called?
Right, then I'd like to get people up on the roof as soon as possible.
Standing by.
So Mergus can first check this area here, the building, through the window, and then climb up. But first, before I do that, backpack. Always drop those, because they will make you slow. This costs 20 action points, and he cannot climb. Without the backpack, which costs 12 to drop, that's only 12, so he saves 8 action points already. And yeah, you can imagine how much extra action points you are spending over the course of a battle if you keep the backpack on. After climbing up, always make sure that you are still crouched, or that the movement mode is crouched. Sometimes you are in standing mode, and if you then click to move your mercenary, you might stand up and get an auto-fire volley in the face or something similar. So just make sure that you have this small yellow crouched animation in your cursor. Mergus, I want to have a look out to the north here, so I'll just put him up here. And I'll have him stay like this, because enemies around here won't be able to see him anyways, and the ones further away shouldn't be much of a threat. I'd rather have him observe what's going on during the enemy turn, and react accordingly, over having him go prone and lose vision of this area, then in the next turn go into crouch position and see that there's 4 enemies close by who interrupt him and shoot him in the head. So I prefer to keep him up in this instance.
You called?
Then Fox can also climb up. Always be careful how far you are from the edge of the window, not the window, of the roof when climbing up, so that you don't get shot from over here in this case. It's an interrupt for him. Maybe he closes in, that would be useful. No, he just walks around. That's what I meant, be careful, because if you haven't checked this area and don't know that there are no enemies here or there's a sniper here, you might interrupt someone climbing up too close to this edge. If I know that there's riflemen out there, or the possibility that there might be some, I tend to use one tile further back, so the vision in this area isn't that far out. Alright, we have to realize that there's a possibility of someone climbing up here next turn, or rather on their turn. So we'll check how far that is. That's 10 tiles. So if we move up one further, she's in range with her gun that has a 9 tile range. Checking range is F, by the way. Just hit the F key after having aimed at the tile you want to know the distance to, and you'll get some basic info, how bright it is, for example, or the range to that tile in relation to the range of your gun. So the 10-9 means that this is 10 tiles away and our gun has a range of 9. I'll move up one further and then go prone, because she's vulnerable to this side here while being crouched. When she's prone, there's no chance that anyone over here can see her. Well, maybe someone over here on this roof with very powerful binoculars. But yeah, that's not very likely. You could also take one shot here if someone climbs up. Climbing up costs a lot of action points, so it's often a bit of a gamble. But in this case I was quite sure that there would be anyone up here. Okay, with Meltdown I'll take some shots. She's a pretty decent shot, especially with pistol since he's a gunslinger. And while both of these weapons have very low range, 9 and 10, she might still get a hit. And one hit is very good, especially in the beginning, because these inexperienced enemies will often run away once they've been hit once. Also, they lose action points and get a penalty to their chance to hit. So it's always worth hitting them. If you face multiple enemies, it's best, or it's normally best, as always, there are many exceptions, but it's normally best to hit every enemy once instead of finishing off 2 out of 4 and getting shot by the 2 remaining ones at full health. So always try to wound as many as possible. Especially in the beginning. Later on with the elite soldiers you will have to reconsider sometimes. Or if you have a sniper who can one-shot your mercenaries and 3 guys with pistols, it's probably best to kill the sniper as fast as possible and worry about the pistoleros later. Okay, let's take the shots. She is fully aimed after one aim click, which is excellent. Also, again, aim high because of the low range. This is about 20 tiles, I guess. Yeah, 20 tiles. So that's way out of range, and her bullets will drop. Okay, we didn't hit him, but he still lost some action points, and we have instilled some fear into him. I'll take at least one more salvo, and then I'll see if... yeah. We saw that there's no enemy here, so I think we're safe to take yet another shot at him. Not so lucky, but that's alright. And Steven... I'm thinking about getting him up on the roof as well, or supporting Meltdown against this guy. How's it look? He has already moved, so we don't have to worry about his interrupts. He doesn't have any action points left. I can just move over here. Turn here. I'm fine with him not seeing him, because he's not a threat over there. So I can just go down here and hope for an interrupt when he moves further up. If he just runs, we'll leave him for now and get Steven up on the roof next turn.
Standing by.
Okay, Grizzly, I don't want to turn around here. That's not good, because he needs to keep an eye on this corner.
That sound didn't come from any of us.
When you hear sounds, always check which turn it is, because civilians also make sound or make noise when running around.
Standing by.
Alright. We can now try to take care of this guy. First, I want Grizzly checking this area here, so crawl him up a bit. And one tile more. I know I said he needs to check this corner, but I want to have him see if the store is still closed or if there's any activity here. But now we know that there isn't anyone in proximity, so Fox could try to get a close range shot at this guy. And then in the end we should probably get Grizzly back on watch duty here. But he has Ira to back him up a bit too, so she can keep an eye on this area. I'll get her up a bit and have her check here.
Yeah?
Alright, Meltdown could hit him here, but she'd have to turn around. So I'm not going to do that yet, because I might want to move her. If there's an enemy in this building, which is unlikely but possible, he might run here and shoot her through the window. So I want to move her and not spend that many action points on shooting at the moment.
You called?
When we use Fox to engage this enemy, of course, we leave ourselves open to this edge of the roof, so that's not the best either. And getting Steven up here takes quite some time. I think I'll do that anyway, though. Let's see. Let's get him up. He can run, because we know there's no one here to interrupt him. And he can climb up. You can also press J to climb up. Okay. Steven, I'll move here for now. He cannot shoot in this turn because his weapon is quite slow. But he's in position for next turn.
Yeah?
Meltdown needs to get to here to be safe from this window if there is an enemy there. So we should be able to make that after going to crouched position. We are prone now and no one, we spot no one, so no one should be able to spot us in turn, because they don't have scopes at this point that increase sight range. Getting it up, which makes her turning around a lot cheaper. And I think I'm going to run her here after taking a shot, so she can get up, which makes shooting cheaper, since she does not need to turn or change her facing direction in crouched position. Okay, let's see here if she can get a bit more lucky than last. Yeah, now she takes him down.
86th!
And
What the hell is
she's
that?
safe to retreat here. Grizzly has
Standing
all
by.
of this in view, so she can
Yeah.
run without having to fear being shot at. I could get her here to have better vision of this area, but I don't want to have her here with 21 action points left. She couldn't do anything and would maybe get shot. So I'll bring her up here for now and have her at the ready to check this corner afterwards. Also, always keep an eye on your ammo in the beginning, especially when you have many weapons that only carry 8 or 7 bullets in the magazine. Rounds, rather. So you don't run out of ammunition at an inopportune time. Try to reload whenever possible. The 38 is almost empty, as you can see. She doesn't have that much ammo for it, but I prefer taking care of enemies without having to worry about them shooting back. Meaning shooting at them at longer ranges, over conserving a bit of ammo but risking my mercenaries' lives. Picked some 9x18, dropped some 9x18 ammo. You can see that those were submachine gun magazines, because it says 20 right at the end, right before the 3. The 3 means that there are 3 magazines on the stack, and the 20 means that those are 20 round magazines. So he probably had a Scorpion with him. But he didn't drop it, because I don't play drop all. All the items the enemies carry only have a certain chance of dropping.
You called?
Not 100%. As with drop all. Okay, I'll get Fox up a bit, I think. Well, I think I'll leave her here for now. I said she doesn't have armor. Oh. Ah, that's the pocket money I stole, right. You can put money in your bank account by clicking with it on your mouse on this dollar symbol. Doesn't cost any action points, you can do it anytime, and only then can you properly use it. Murgus can keep a further eye out for enemies in this direction. Remember, Stephen heard some movement coming from the north when he was in this position. I don't think it was inside this building. It's possible, but I kind of doubt it. So it's probably someone moving around up here. He does not have an extended ear, so his hearing range is rather limited. I assume that there's an enemy close by here. Murgus doesn't wear a helmet, so this position is a bit risky because he can easily be hit in the head when on the roof. But you need to take some risks in the beginning. Can't always play it safe. Not that a helmet would mitigate too much damage, but it helps a bit. Can make the difference between life and death. Murgus, I think I'll keep here for now and raise a shotgun. There might be an enemy climbing up here, but if Murgus gets an interrupt, raising the gun was worth it, because when you turn around without moving, your gun will stay in the raised position. So that's perfect.
You called?
Alright, and Grizzly, as I've said, back to watching this area.
Who the hell made that noise?
Okay, here's that movement again.
Standing by.
Let's have Grizzly check this area again. Still no one here, that's good. They're probably amassing somewhere around here. We'll check that out with Steven. Can move up. On rooftops, I prefer moving in crouched position for most parts until I get closer to the edge, because otherwise it just takes so long and your vision is really shortened by all of the stuff that's in the way, like this ledge here. So you don't see anything going on the ground if you're prone and too far back.
Yeah.
You can move up a bit, and you can stay in crouched position here.
Standing by.
Murgus also, he might even get 2 shots off if someone climbs up, because he has full action points with the action points he took over from last turn, and he has already got his weapon raised.
You called?
So that's good. And Fox, I'll keep back for now. You can see Here she has a good shot on this area, but not so much on this. That's why I'll bring her further up by rolling her, pressing Alt. Does that, as I've explained before. So now she can shoot at any enemy climbing up here in this area. Well, now she has to turn for this, but we can't really avoid that unless crawling her back, but then she's out of range.
Yeah.
And Steven's here as well.
You called?
Also, why I prefer having her further over here is that she's more protected from enemies over here. Okay,
Yeah.
then Meltdown can take a quick peek around this corner. In prone position. So she's spotted later. And she'll stay like this for now. Observe if there's any enemies and maybe reload next turn, at least the
Standing
38
by.
special. And Grizzly can move up here. I want to have him in position here, and
You got my
Ira
ear.
as far back as possible, just to spot any enemies that come running up here. Let's get in the grass for now.
Standing by.
Even
Got my
a
ear.
mercenary without a weapon can be very useful, because you have so many areas you need to have eyes on to see if there are any enemies approaching, trying to flank you, or otherwise harm you. So it's always good to have an extra pair of eyes.
You
Haven't
haven't
got my
killed them
ear.
all yet. Yeah?
Okay, so let's reload.
Okay, let's paint the town red with the enemy's blood.
It's possible that the enemies aren't properly alerted yet, because we only killed him so far and no one comes storming us. You can see how far a gun can be heard by this value here, loudness. That's the range in tiles that the sound of the gun firing travels. So 45, that's about here, I'd say. A little bit further. Somewhere around this area. So they should have heard it, but they don't always react to it properly. He had time to call reinforcements, but maybe he didn't. This guy looks not very alerted, so that's fine by me, of course. Okay, I don't want to start taking shots with Meltdown right away, but try to
You called?
maybe bring Fox into action here. But first, let me check
Standing
with
by.
Grizzly. Well, he won't see
Yeah.
much more than Meltdown does, so it's not that
Standing
important,
by.
but still. Let's check with him. Doesn't see anything in this area. And now let's continue moving here. Of course, he's a bit vulnerable from this direction, but that's 26 tiles, so if any enemy spots him from here, he'll have to run up, and Meltdown
Yeah.
might get an interrupt on him.
You got my ear.
Again, Ira, just keep on crawling.
Yeah?
Now, before we fire with Meltdown, if we do that,
Yeah.
let's see here. Steven has a great chance to interrupt the enemy because he's level 5. So I like keeping him available for interrupts in case anyone climbs up. I'll move him up here. We do not have to worry about this section of the building as a starting point for anyone climbing up, because we just had
Standing
vision
by.
of that with Grizzly, and Meltdown
Yeah.
sees part of it too. So even if someone came around the corner in the enemy turn and tried climbing up, he would not have any action points left, because climbing up costs a lot, and if he has to round this corner, he'll spend quite a bit of action points doing that.
Yeah.
Okay, Steven, his submachine gun is best used in prone position. You can see here that all the counterforce stuff, meaning how easily he can control the auto fire on this weapon, is best in prone position. But I don't want him going prone in this situation, because he might have to turn around if an enemy climbs up over here or over here. So I'll just keep him in the stance he's in now, in crouch position, and have him aim his gun. Murgus can wait one more turn doing so too. And Fox, as said, is going to try to take a shot at this guy. She will have to come a bit closer to the edge, but that's fine because Meltdown has good vision here, so she shouldn't run into any unexpected trouble.
I have an encounter.
Okay, she sees two here. She cannot fire at those, of course, and she doesn't have vision of this guy yet. I don't want her moving up even further, because then she's in a bit of danger. Instead, I'll retreat her and keep her at the ready for interrupts in this direction.
Yeah?
Meltdown, I think I'll have her retreat one tile for now, just so we can deal with him properly next turn.
That sound didn't come from any of us.
Okay, now we have an enemy in here, meaning that Meltdown should get away from the window. I don't think they can, well, maybe from here they could get a line of sight on her, but it's better to be on the safe side, so I'll crawl her up a bit again, also giving her a nice field of view here. If the enemy who just entered this building comes out again, she's very likely to get an interrupt. And
standing by.
I'll have Grizzly check out this area also now. I don't want him going this way, because then he might be spotted by someone rounding this corner. So I'll pull him back here.
Target.
And turn that way. Okay, there's one here. He's probably preparing to climb up at the moment as we speak. So we should not only rely on interrupts. He might have some action points left, so Meltdown isn't really safe attacking him by going around this corner. So I think...
Standing by.
Well, I don't really want to pull them towards Grizzly at this point, so he'll keep quiet for now, but retreat a bit further to be safer.
You got my ear.
And Ira I'll put behind this tree. But I don't want her facing this way, so I'll try to get her into a better position by crawling here and then crawling here. Okay. This guy, as I said, is probably going to climb up, but he shouldn't stand a chance against Steven's level 5.
You called?
And
Standing by.
he also has to worry about Murgus and Fox.
You called?
So I'm fine with him climbing up.
Yeah?
I think it's... hoping for one of those interrupts is a smaller risk than taking Meltdown around the corner at this point. Also, she might need some action points to interrupt the guy who ran into this building. So let's keep it as it is for now.
Standing by.
There we go. Oh, he's only a yellow shirt, so he's weaker. I don't want to alert them, as said, so Grizzly just keeps an eye on these guys.
Standing by.
And again. She didn't get an interrupt, that's too bad.
By.
And now I think Grizzly might want to help out a bit by crawling closer and firing at this one. It's a nice hit.
Mayday! Mayday!
Schmorg is
Standing
aboard.
by.
Alright. They're quite aggressive, as you can see. And Meltdown got hit, unfortunately. She didn't get the interrupt. That's a bummer, but, well...
Yeah?
stupid stuff happens sometimes. Alright, let's try to get rid of these soldiers. This one's pretty hurt, so
Yeah.
I'm not too worried about him. There's one guy in here,
Standing by.
the red shirt and the yellow shirt with the dark hair. So there's 5 enemies close by, and this elite soldier over here, who is, of course, because she's an elite, very dangerous, but she's not highest
Yeah.
priority at the moment because she's quite a way off here. I'll try to take care of the others first. Steven could probably hit this guy if he moves up here. No line of sight yet. I think he'll just stay here for interrupts then. For anyone who might climb up here. While
You called?
Fox tries to get a shot on this guy. He's disabled, so I don't worry about him. But she still... oh, that's close. Can't get a shot quite yet. Maybe I'll have her take care of this one and retreat. I think that would be best in this situation.
Sweet dreams.
Then pull back and go prone.
Yeah.
Meltdown. Either I try to attack these soldiers here, because they have already moved, or I'll draw her back and hope for an interrupt, supported
Standing
by
by.
Grizzly's vision.
You got my ears.
I want to get Ira into position of seeing all of this side of the building a bit quicker, so she should take point in this direction for now. Because that could be quite hurtful if Grizzly got someone in his flank. Okay, it's clear so far.
Standing by.
And we'll see if we need to shoot with Grizzly.
Standing by.
Also, just because you see some soldiers in an area like this, don't think you have to throw all your mercenaries into battle right away. Always keep an eye out on your flanks. That's what Mergus is doing. He can also keep an eye on all of this here.
Yeah.
Okay, Meltdown, I don't want her prone like that. If they storm me, I want them to have to come further to see Meltdown. That's why I am going to crawl back here and then look in this direction. Get some distance between them and Meltdown.
Standing
And
by.
Grizzly, she could run up quite far. I'll have to worry about that. I think I'll take one burst on this guy and then retreat. Should scare him a bit. Just retreat him. Alright.
Yeah.
Okay, Steven could get up and shoot at him, but that's too risky. He's not really a threat. He's not even looking in our direction. He can storm in Grizzly's direction.
Who the hell made that noise?
Yeah.
Okay,
Standing by.
she's trying to get in Grizzly's back. So I'll first of all have him retreat a bit
Blast
further
it.
to check on these guys. This one should be killable by Fox or Steven. But we need to be careful. He might also get an interrupt if we just poke our head up here. That's why it's good to have someone spot on the ground, so you know where the enemies are and where you need to be extra careful.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got my ear.
Ira, I want to retreat because this elite soldier will be rounding this corner soon, and Ira doesn't have a weapon, so just get her back here.
You called?
I don't like this guy here, facing this direction. I think I'll try to take care of this corporal with Meltdown, because she doesn't have to go into a position that's too exposed to do that.
Standing by.
And Grizzly, well, he doesn't see this spot due to the clothes hanger thingy here. So
Yeah.
I think the other red shirt who was in this area went in. We saw him move in, so I don't think there's anyone here. Okay, let's see. Line of sight. If I move her here, she won't see him. But maybe if I move her over here. But I don't want to. I don't want to leave this wall because there could be an enemy here checking this area. I'll just move her up one tile at a time. She should be able to see him from here. Hopefully hurt him quite a bit. Yep.
86th.
There's only this one guy in close proximity. He does have the action points to come around this corner and attack Meltdown, but I don't think he'll be alive after their move. So I can retreat Meltdown for now. She also could get a shot off with the Makarov. So she should be fine here. I'm also fine with her standing up. The only long range that she has to worry about is over here, and Grizzly has that covered pretty much.
Standing by.
Grizzly, as said, needs to be ready for the elite soldier's attack over here. I could get him up to the trees, but then he's vulnerable from here and far away from the other mercenaries. So I'll retreat him one more tile. But I'll keep eyes on him for now.
You got my ear.
Yeah.
I'll use Steven first because he has the higher experience level, so the interrupt chance for the soldier down here should be very low. Also, he's armored. If he gets hit, it's not the end of the world, hopefully. But if Fox with her experience level of 2 would get hit, that could be not very good. Oh, by the way, we should extend their contracts, Grizzlies and Foxes, because both of them are close to a level up, and we want to keep them longer for the cheaper price. We could, of course, offer one of them, preferably Fox, the 2-week contract, but then we are very low on cash and we won't get enough cash to extend their contracts properly. Well, we could get enough cash if we manage to take the mine right afterwards, to extend Steven by 1 day, Fox by a week, and Grizzly by 1 day. But if we cannot manage to get the mine, that would be annoying to have spent 7,000 on Fox and then lose Grizzly and Steven. Well, not permanently lose them, but not have the money to extend their contracts. So let's just give them a 1-day contract extension for now.
Sounds good to me.
Oh, 2 days. I calculated that we can afford 3-day extensions for these 3. So let's do that. Or we might be... well, nah, we don't save much on Fox if we pick the longer contract options. So I think we'll go with the daily ones for now.
It's always better the next time round, right? Right. It's always better the next time round, right? Right.
Alright, and Steven too. I mean, his 10,000 compared to 10,500 for 7 one-day contracts isn't worth it. He's not close to a level up, but still, we can just extend his
I
contract
accept the renewal.
right away, so we don't forget about it. You are reminded before they leave, of course. It's not that they just go and are gone, but still. Okay, let's get back to it. So, as said, Steven is going to try to take him out. But yeah, he gets interrupted. That's what I feared. But Steven can take
You
it.
called?
And now that he doesn't have any action points left, he shouldn't be able to do anything else.
Smorgasbord.
There's one here too. Good thing that we checked. I said this one spot that hid, that blocked vision here was bad. But now we know. He could fire on him. Problem is, it's full auto only, so he might fire a longer burst and then be stuck in this position.
You called?
Let's see how we get rid of him. I don't like this guy very much because he could interrupt Fox, and that could hurt a lot. But I think I'll take the risk now, because otherwise he can get up and run and hurt Meltdown. So let's take that risk. He didn't have any action points left, so that wasn't a problem, but he could get up and shoot her. Okay, in this case, you don't really need to aim that much. If you see that the inner circle is smaller than the target you're shooting, you don't have to spend extra action points. Okay, he's critical. We could take another shot, but then we'd be stuck in this position. I prefer moving away from the ledge and then going prone again to be safer. Now, should Steven take a shot on him? There could be more around this corner, but he's very dangerous. He's. I think I'll try a shot on him, and then if he doesn't fire a longer burst, we can still get, well, I can't get prone then. Now I'll just retreat him for now and try to take care of him with maybe Grizzly or with Meltdown next round, depending on what this guy does. Meltdown still has a chance of interrupting him if he comes running this way. He also spent all of his action points, so he cannot take any to the next round, which means that he shouldn't have enough to get up, move a square, climb up, and then still shoot us. And we have Murgus who can try to interrupt him too. Okay, let's retreat Steven here.
Standing by.
Okay, that wasn't too bad. Thinking about trying my luck on this guy. I think we can safely do that because we see so much over here. Crawl up and take a single shot at him. No luck.
Blast it!
Okay.
Smorgasbord.
Okay, she turned around again. That's good. We still need to keep in mind that she is here and might round this corner anytime. Okay. They both moved a lot, so and she also moved quite a bit. They shouldn't be able to interrupt. They also know that Meltdown's here. Sneaking won't do much good. I'll just move her up here and try to take care of the elite. She's probably wearing armor, so the hollow points won't do that much damage, but maybe we get lucky. You can check the armor. Oh, she doesn't even wear any armor. You can check armor and weapons by holding down the Alt key while aiming at the enemy. It only works in close proximity. The further away you get from your target, the less info you'll get, or the more generic the info will get. If you're very close, you'll see which type of gun she carries exactly. If she's a bit further away, you'll only see the type, like pistol or rifle, but not the exact model. Alright, let's take those shots. She's hit in the leg, that's good. These two pretty much spent their action points, so I'll take more shots on her, and she's down. And Meltdown has a lot of action points left to shoot at anyone who might try to attack her here. Now for these guys, they've moved a lot, so they don't have any action points left. But just for good measure, I'll take a 3-round burst with Grizzly to suppress them a bit before we move up. And he hits him. That's great.
You called?
Yeah.
Again, I'll take Steven first. He's a bit vulnerable on this side, so he shouldn't just get up and start moving towards the edge. Let's see how we do this. We could try to get vision of this area first, but that takes a lot of action points, so he wouldn't be able to attack in this round. Fox is a bit safer. She doesn't have any armor, but these two don't have action points left. I think I'll use her first. I'll crawl her, so get the right facing, even though she won't see anything at this point. Except for over here, of course. But not the ones right here. Then she can go crouch. These criticals, I don't worry much, but the healthy one. I could go for the headshot here, because it only takes one aim click to really make it very small, and it should be more damaging. I don't want to take yet another shot, because she couldn't get back and prone. But this time we can move backwards while facing in this direction. That's better, so she can get up here, back here in the next round, without having to worry about getting shot in the back of her head. And since these are all critical, they won't do much. Even if they manage to run up to here, they don't have the action points to do anything to Meltdown. Also, interrupt chances on a wounded enemy, on a critically wounded enemy, are very high.
You called?
Yeah.
So, Steven, as said, I'm a bit worried about this area, so I'll just retreat him here for now. Can also keep an eye on this ledge in case anyone tries to climb up. It's too bad he doesn't have a pistol yet, because he could have really used it. This weapon is very slow. But yeah, he'd probably be better down here. I thought they might climb up, but they didn't.
Standing by.
We'll have to deal with it. But I'll bring Murgus up a bit at this point. Look this direction.
Standing by.
Grizzly should probably just keep an eye out on these guys.
You got my ear.
And I'd like to get Ira up further now, because she's the elite soldier, just ran around here a couple of times, so we can assume that she won't have the action points to come all the way here to hurt Ira the next turn, because she's all the way back here and not already here.
Smorgasbord. Standing by.
Okay. If she stays here, Grizzly could take shots at her next round. I'll get him into the proper facing for now.
Standing by.
Okay. I might take a shot here, but first we should deal with these guys. They are severely injured, so they shouldn't be much trouble.
Standing by.
And Murgus can move up even further.
Yeah.
Steven also sees her. He could try to suppress. but he'd have to turn around, so that costs a lot of action points.
You called?
Okay. Meltdown could also get a line of fire on her, but I think she's out of range, because these weapons have very short ranges. Sorry. Okay. I want to get Meltdown here first, and then see what's going on. Well, she could shoot, but the chances are very low. Let's see here. She can try to... Oh, he's dying, he's critical. He's facing the wrong wave, so Fox can take care of him. For now, Meltdown is going to shoot this red shirt. Don't need 2 shots for that. One's enough. Save a bit of ammo.
86th!
And then move back. Get ready for any interrupts.
You called?
Alright. Fox is going to finish off the critical guy here.
Beauty!
She could also take a shot at the dying one, but let's preserve ammo and action points. And I want her facing this way so she can be on watch out duty for anyone trying to climb up next round. Steven, I'll also put on interrupt duty, but not in this way here. She needs to go back a bit first. Fall back. Then turn around here and stay crouched. Enemies in this area will obviously see him, because he has a line of sight there too, but at that range they won't hit him. Later on you should also fear enemies who are far away, but in the beginning they only have short range weapons.
Standing by.
Alright, Grizzly, try your luck on this one. Let's go with single shots for now. I'll preserve the rest of the action points in case anything
You got
happens.
my ear!
See if we can get Ira in a decent spot so she can see what's going on over here. Yeah, that should be enough. She has also she's also got decent vision in this direction. We don't have to worry about her being flanked by anyone. So she can stay here for now and keep an eye out.
Standing by. Standing by. Yeah.
Okay, so Steven can
Standing by.
keep an eye out while Murgus bandages up Steven. Steven's hurt for 20, I think, so that's quite a considerable wound. He might start bleeding soon, so let's patch Steven up. Steven and also Murgus, who does the bandaging, can still get interrupts, by the way. So
You called?
they still protect this area. Fox also watches this area, but I want to get her a bit further away from the ledge to the right. So I'll put her here to watch this area mainly. Then Meltdown also needs some medical attention. Her wound for 15 won't bleed as fast as the 20-point wound. With any luck, she might not bleed at all, but unbandaged wounds are twice as bad when it comes to the penalty they give to your chance to hit. So she should get bandaged up soon. I'll reload her guns now that we have cleaned out this threat here. If you only have a half-empty magazine, don't just pick it up and click on the weapon in turn-based mode, because she'll just exchange this magazine, in quotation marks in this case, because it's a speed loader. She'll just exchange this magazine with the one in the pistol. This one carries 2 rounds still, so she'd have 2 rounds after reloading, which is pointless. To avoid that, just unload the weapon, merge these by picking one up, for example the one you just unloaded, pressing Control and then clicking, so it merges the 2 magazines, or speed loaders in this case, and then load them back in. Alright. Meltdown can crouch here for a moment and wait for anyone who might wander into her field of view. While Grizzly should think about reloading too. By the way, these question marks here are not a bug, they are a feature. Mercenaries don't always know exactly how much ammo they have left in the magazine in turn-based mode. Especially if they are low level, if they have low marksmanship, low wisdom, low dexterity. They don't always know the exact amount of ammo. Also, if you use auto-fire a lot, with longer volleys, they'll lose count faster. So he's quite low. I didn't count, I think we fired about 11 shots or so, so yeah. Let's reload. Yeah, 10 shots we fired. And then I think I'll keep him here. Ira has this side of the building under control now, so she can warn Grizzly if anyone comes up here. So he can stay with this field of view for now. I want to bring him up 1 tile too, and then see how it goes.
Yeah.
Encounter.
Okay, Steven sees this guy now. Firing at him is okay, he could hit him, but then we'd be more vulnerable to anyone climbing up. I think he'll give it a try just to scare him a bit, but not the full volley. 2 rounds are enough for now, and since he's out of range, aiming up high is probably best. Yeah, you saw 1 bullet drop off quickly. The other one hit him in the chest. Might have otherwise only hit him in the legs if he'd aimed too low. Steven, since he's already hurt, I'll have get down for now.
Standing by.
Mergus, I could move him over here and continue bandaging to have him in a safer spot, but this hurt enemy doesn't really worry me much.
Standing by.
1 more. He only carries a pistol. I'll stay up for now.
Standing by.
Okay, her again. Time for more shots. Great hit.
Standing by.
Hey, I burst a blood vessel over here.
Standing by.
Okay, she is bleeding. That's not good. I think I'll bring her up on the roof to be bandaged instead of bringing Mergus down, because Fox isn't that great a shot and Steven's wounded, so we need to keep
standing by
someone else up here too to make interrupting a bit more reliable. It's always a game of chance, so don't. So I like to increase our chances as much as I can. Wrong button, sorry.
Standing by.
You called?
And Fox, despite her not being armored, I'll have to take a short peek over here. She can't see much. That's not too bad. And then I'll move her here.
Yeah.
Steven can take a look around. It's only this one guy for now. And then go prone again. He can interrupt anyone who comes up here and shoot him.
Standing by.
Grizzly, I'll have to take more shots at her. His chance to hit isn't that low. And she's an elite, so it's always worth spending some ammo to get her down fast.
Standing by.
I think this episode is running long once again, so I'll take a short break here and see you next time. Bye bye.